What if you could turn one YouTube video into 36 pieces of content and run your entire social media strategy just by producing one YouTube video a week and repurposing that video into dozens of pieces of content for all major social media platforms? A friend of mine recently asked me how they could build a value-driven organic social media strategy with a small amount of time available each week. And what I said is, honestly, the best way to do this is to put your time and effort into creating a weekly YouTube video. Now, you can either batch these out at the beginning of a month, or you can do these, week to week, but you spend some time creating that video, and then from that one YouTube video, you can actually turn it into dozens of other pieces of content for all your social media. What I wanna walk you through is how to take that YouTube video and repurpose it everywhere. Now, this is gonna be the foundation of your overall content repurposing strategy. I recommend weekly 7 to 15 minute long YouTube videos that share your expertise. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do you create a YouTube video? Well, first, you wanna come up with a different topics of videos that you can record and film. An easy way to do this is by looking at all the common questions that your ideal clients have on sales calls, your current clients have on coaching calls, or by using a tool like Answer the Public to see what questions your ideal clients are asking for online. Once you've brainstormed a few ideas, you can start to turn those into YouTube titles. For instance, if I wanted to make a video about my YouTube content repurposing framework, I'd likely write down the title, the YouTube Content Repurposing Framework: how to turn one video into 36 pieces of content. Then you can look at all the different ideas and titles that you've created to see which of those appear to be a compelling YouTube video. Put yourself in the mind of your ideal client and ask yourself, which of these videos would you click on and watch? Maybe even visualize what the thumbnail could be for that video. Once you've come up with a topic, then you have two options. Depending on your style, you can either write a script or you can film the video from intuition. Just pretend you're on a coaching call and have a conversation with someone speaking directly at the camera, sharing your expertise around the subject. Usually what I'll do is a little bit of a hybrid. I'll come up with some YouTube titles, maybe some bullet points that I want to hit, and then I'll dive into the video content itself more from intuition, but following a structured framework. In terms of filming the video, you'll want to find an area where you can record that feels natural to you. So I, of course, record here in my offices, but you can choose an area that's going to feel natural to you as well. Now, I actually have a green screen studio, but that's not the best location for me to go and film some of these videos because it almost feels a little too polished. I like to operate right here and just say, hey, I'm at my desk, I'm gonna share with you, and that's the style that I like with my YouTube videos, and you wanna find the style that is authentic and natural to you. Now, in terms of filming, you can use a professional camera, you can get a tripod and set up your iPhone. These days, iPhone cameras have 4K lenses, which are actually pretty solid and pretty good at recording videos. The big thing is just to remember that you're naturally creating that content and make sure you're speaking directly to the camera as if you're talking to a friend or a coaching client. Once you film the video, I recommend editing using Descript. It's an AI video editing software that anyone can learn and use very easily. You can remove filler words by just clicking a button and even edit the video using the transcript. So it'll have the whole transcript there, and if you want to remove a word, just delete it. And it actually removes that piece of the video, which makes editing a lot easier and quicker to do. Now, once you have that video, the second step is publishing that long form video on YouTube. So you want to publish that video directly on YouTube using that title, and then using a tool like Canva to create a compelling thumbnail. Now, there's a lot of great templates already on Canva, but you can of course also have somebody on Upwork or Fiverr design you a thumbnail template as well that you can use, or you can try your hand at designing one from scratch. But the thumbnail is an important aspect, so I'd recommend using a template with a proven strategy and then just adding your own elements, your own picture, your own details to it as well. Now, in the description of the video, make sure that you put your call to action, which is where you want people to go next. So that could be the link to your funnel, front-end product, or booking a sales call, right there at the top of the description and as a pinned comment for easy access. Now, YouTube's the second largest search engine, so the beauty here is that once you publish your video, it'll actually be indexed on YouTube and on Google search so that people searching far into the future will potentially discover your content and value. That's where YouTube is more than a social media platform. It's actually building almost like an incubator where you can warm up potential clients and creating indexed content that people can find far into the future the next time they're searching on YouTube or Google for whatever it is that your expertise is all about. Now, the third step is cross-posting the long-form video. You've already got that long-form video done, you posted on YouTube, so if you want, you can also cross-post post it on other social media platforms as well. Now, a lot of other platforms are trying to get more and more video engagement, so they'll actually serve your video to more people. Now, this is a little bit more optional, and I don't always do this myself as well. Oftentimes, I'll mostly focus on YouTube for the long-form video. However, it is a good way to get some additional content that you can share on different platforms. So you could take that same video and post with that long-form content and put it on platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, either on your groups or your page or your personal profile. You can use IGTV or even Twitter. Now, these platforms aren't as robust as YouTube for video. However, they all have capacity to post long-form content and help it get an even wider reach. The fourth step is where things get really exciting because you can create daily short-form content from that YouTube video using AI. So you can actually use AI in a tool called Opus Clip to turn that long-form YouTube video into dozens of short-form clips automatically. And it allows you to actually go in and seamlessly create multiple short-form pieces of content from one long-form video. Now, I personally tried and tested about half a dozen of these different tools. We found that Opus works the best because it actually takes that video, clips in the most important and valuable pieces, and then even adds in captions and B-roll. This will give you enough content for daily short-form videos on all the Shorts platforms. Of course, YouTube Shorts, and when you're doing YouTube Shorts, you want to link to the long-form video right there at the bottom, but also Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, both personal and your page, TikTok Reels, and now even Twitter and LinkedIn are starting to encourage Shorts as well. Now, a pro tip with YouTube Shorts, you can select related video and actually link your long-form video to the Shorts so that anytime the short pops up in the feed, people can actually go to that long-form video by clicking that link at the bottom. We found that this can drive additional viewership to actually help your content grow even faster. Now, I'd recommend doing these at least once per day, which will give you that content boost and that extra push from the algorithm, which favors daily posting. And that will allow you to repurpose that original YouTube video you do each week. You get around a dozen different shorts from Opus, and then just choose the top 7 and then post those daily on all the major social media platforms. The fifth step is repurposing for an email newsletter. So you can actually repurpose the content you're creating on video into email newsletters. Now, my strategy is to either start by writing a newsletter and then have that be as a script for a YouTube video, or start with a YouTube video and then take the transcript of that video and turn it into a newsletter. If I start with a YouTube video, let's say I did it from intuition, I was talking like I was talking to a client, I can use Descript to grab the transcript of that YouTube video and then run it through Claude AI to turn it into a draft of an email newsletter in my voice and style, using the project settings and samples of my writing. I can then take a rough draft of the video transcript, turned newsletter outline, and then apply my own writing to it to make it my own and really polish it and get it ready to send out in an email newsletter. Now, the prompt that I use inside of Claude, which I've found to be the best at copywriting, is this. All you gotta do is paste in that transcript from the YouTube video that you pulled from Descript, and then just say, please use this video transcript to write a value-based email newsletter in my voice and style. And when I use that prompt, it'll actually turn that transcript into an email newsletter. Now, it's not perfect all the time, but it will get 80% of the way there, and then all I need to do is make some tweaks and just make sure that it's all polished up, it looks good, reads good, and has my own verbiage and messaging, but it pulls all the different pieces that I already talked about in the video and turns it into a full email newsletter with a couple tweaks. It's ready to go and ready to be sent out. Now, I may also include a link to that full YouTube video in that newsletter as well, which helps cross-pollinate and get people to start watching the content after they've read the newsletter. Now, I'd say about half of my videos actually start out by me typing a newsletter from scratch and then turning that into a script for a YouTube video, and the other half start out as a YouTube video and then turning that into a newsletter. So they essentially feed into each other. Now, I personally use Beehive because it's easy, cheap, and fast to set up. That said, ConvertKit is also a much more robust and powerful option that I'd recommend for newsletters as well. The sixth piece is social media text and image posts. Now, this is the final piece of the YouTube content repurposing strategy, and that is to create full text posts and image posts on different social media platforms. I usually take either the email newsletter and then adapt that to fit different platforms that I want to post on, or I go and grab the YouTube transcript and turn that into a social media post. Now, if you're wondering how I get bold text, I use a tool called Yay Text that actually will appear as bold on most social platforms. Then I usually grab an image that represents the post, or I just grab an image of myself, and honestly that seemed to work pretty well, to go along with that post, and then I post it everywhere. So essentially taking that same YouTube video, diving into the transcript, getting the newsletter, and then taking that and condensing it and posting it on different social media platforms. What I can also do in Claude is ask it to go ahead and create a post for me. Again, same thing, uploading the transcript and saying, please write a Facebook post in my voice and style using the content from this YouTube video. And then it can get you a pretty good Facebook post that provides all of that value. I found though, converting to an email newsletter first and then repurposing tends to work better because Claude understands that email newsletter is a little bit more value driven. With Facebook posts, sometimes it tries to add like a million emojis, and that's at least not my style, but it might be your style. And then what you could do is go ahead and cross-post this on your Facebook personal page, Facebook group, and you can also repost to your LinkedIn, either your business or your personal profile. And then the seventh step is to celebrate, because you have just turned one YouTube video into 36 pieces of content that you can share across all social media platforms in a fraction of the time. Now the key here is consistency, because the more you do this, the more you'll grow by following that consistent posting and sharing your expertise on every platform in different mediums. And when you have a content repurposing framework, everything becomes much more efficient. So if you found this valuable, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because we got more great videos just like this. And also let me know in the comments down below if you want me to make videos breaking down more in depth any of the different pieces of this strategy. Maybe you want to see me actually repurpose content using Claude, or you want to see me go and do the AI short form content. Let me know if any of that would be valuable, and I can go and make additional videos, and I will see you in the next one.